Name is Leah Baum.
And my name is Tejas, and we are with the Tech Pals.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization out of Boulder, Colorado, although we operate nationally. And our motto is Enrich Your Life, Embrace Technology.
Now, today we're going to talk about ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is a new AI application created by OpenAI. Now, ChatGPT can perform a wide variety of tasks from text generation, it can analyze documents and images, it can write various compositions, emails, it can do so much, and all you need to do is use the ChatGPT website.
So, without further ado, we're going to walk right into this. So, we're going to have you go to your browser. TechPals likes Chrome, but any browser will work. And you're going to go and you're going to type in chat.openai.com.
And we'll be led straight to the ChatGPT menu. And this is showing us the free version right now, but you get more features if you log in with a free account. Now, you will never be charged for logging in with an account, but it brings extra features such as image and PDF, analysis mode, conversation history, and so much more, including custom GPTs in the GPT marketplace. So to log in, you just want to click the button that says login. And if you already have a Google account, this should be no problem. Or you can use Microsoft or Apple. If you haven't created an account already, you can just click login and click one of these options. So in this demo, we're going to use Google to log in. You're going to click continue here. And we're in. You can see we have now accessed ChatGPT.
Great. So you can see at the bottom where it says message ChatGPT. This is where you'll write your prompt. And there's a paperclip to the left of that if you wanted to incorporate documents, images, files for it to scan and retrieve information from.
And along to the side, you see your conversation history. So those on the side are some conversations from a previous demonstration we did with this account. However, if you make a new conversation by typing something in here, it will add that to the sidebar and you can always go back to that.
Right. And it'll auto give it a name so you can find it based on what you talk to ChatGPT about in that conversation.
Right. There's also this little drop-down menu, and this lets you select your model. So on the free version, you get the ChatGPT and really ChatGPT Plus. You can no longer select your model without starting a conversation. But if you're on ChatGPT Premium, you can select between GPT-4o and a new model GPT-o1 released September 12th and designed for reasoning and really math mostly.
And that's September 12th, 2024.
Yes.
And this presentation is as of September 18th, 2024.
Right. So, I mean, I think it's time to show how to actually start a conversation here.
Right.
You just can start a conversation by typing something in. For example, let's say I wanted to generate an email for some reason. Like, let's just say generate an email to politely decline your offer to sell a Chromebook for $400. You can say generate an email to politely decline the offer to sell an old Chromebook for $400. And you can see it's generated a relatively professional and polite looking email.
That's right. Says thank you so much for your interest in purchasing my Chromebook. I truly appreciate your offer, $400. After some consideration, I decided not to sell the device at this time. Yada yada yada.
Somebody really wanted
Best
that
regards.
Chromebook.
Yeah.
All right, and you can see you can do so much.
Let's say we've got relatives coming to town and we're not naturally that great of a host and we want to do an itinerary. So type this in. We've got an 80-year-old coming, an 80-year-old cousin.
We want to click the new chat button, and this prevents us from using context from our previous chat. So we're going to click the new chat button.
Very good.
Just type that.
So we have visiting a 9-year-old, an 80-year-old who is in shape, to Boulder, Colorado. What should we do for 4 days?
And as you can see, this is a new feature. We'll talk about that a little later. But you can see it has created a brand new itinerary and it has generated that for just from the information we gave. And it is pretty good, honestly. I would be surprised that it generated something with this much detail.
Absolutely. Similarly, you can tell it what foods you like and to plan out a week's worth of dinner ideas.
Right. Now, I'm not sure if you want to talk about, file uploads now.
Yeah, do we have an example to use for
Yeah.
a good file upload?
Yes.
Okay, so for this example, Tejas developed a contract that has some
Pretty shady clauses to it, and I mean, I can show you quickly. But for starters, this contract has some stipulations such as um, you can see this then requires certain things like things like $1 billion um um certain wait where so
ChatGPT, search it.
God, I can't even find what I wrote now.
So when you can't find what you wrote in a document, you can upload the document to ChatGPT.
And this document is intentionally misleading, so this is a great example to demonstrate how you can parse insurance documents and contracts that you may not be sure of. You can find analyze. I'm just gonna create a new chat and say analyze how safe this contract is colon, and so you can just click the little paperclip and click upload from computer.
You can also upload from your Google Drive or Microsoft.
And then you want to find the file. If you have Google or Microsoft, you can also upload directly from that, as Leah said. And we're just going to click the send button. And you can see GPT is now showing the kickoff fee of $10 trillion, monthly fees of $2 billion, full control over all electronic devices, and the supplier is the only one who can terminate the contract. So you can see, I wrote this for the demo a few months ago, and ChatGPT is pretty good. It can analyze this and find those terms which are hidden within the contract.
So this is great for when you have questions about your comparing different insurance companies, different clauses, different exclusion things before you go into filing a claim. You can see what exactly is covered and what's not. You can ask it very specific questions about this. You can say, "Tell me what page are these? What page can I find?"
Which page of the PDF is the 10 trillion kickoff fee on question mark? And you can see it'll say 3.2a page 2, and we can go open the PDF again, and let's actually go back to section 3.2a, section 2. There we go. It actually found it.
Perfect.
And okay, I finally found my misleading clause at the top of the document, but there we go.
What did we want to do next?
I think a great topic to talk about next would be the topic of text generation and really how it can be used to analyze and respond to documents. Right. So let's just say I have a PDF and I have another PDF. This is a list of participants at a science fair recently. And if I click free users can only do this twice a day.
So this is a good teaching moment here. You can only upload a document twice in one day?
You can only upload one document a day.
One document a day.
Or actually one document every few hours, I think. One document every 12 hours, 6 hours or something like that. One document every 9 hours, that's what it is.
So the paid version of ChatGPT is $20 a month.
So we can see that if we click on my avatar here and I click upgrade plan, there's an option to upgrade, and this, if you click the personal one, is $20 a month. If you plan on using this tool a lot, it's actually worth the $20 a month.
Absolutely.
If you're going to use it once in a while, the free version will suffice, though.
Right.
Right.
Documents and searched for them. So we're going to move on with our next
Demo.
demo on
So
ChatGPT.
our next demo is this demo on text generation questions, specifically in regards to tutoring. So let's say I have these tutoring questions, like maybe the question is, provide me with a step-by-step explanation of how I can calculate the height of a given tree using trigonometry if the shadow length is equal to 20 feet and the angle of elevation is 92 degrees. And you can see it's going to give us really, it's going to give us some information about how to calculate it, and it'll even put the formulas here. Obviously, it thinks that my angle of elevation is impossible. You don't get why I did that. But if we try again, like angle of elevation
Because you're going against gravity.
equal to 89, I am going against gravity by what the example when I was tired.
But this is not a geometry lesson, folks.
You can see that it is now giving us an answer to the question. So this is really good for tutoring. And let me ask it an English question that I know it can answer because it's a real question. And you can even ask it to give you the style of so that's understandable by a given audience. For example, this question. Explain the difference between a gerund and a participle. Make this understandable for a 5th grader. And as you can see, it provides a pretty concise, brief, and clear explanation of the difference.
Right. It'll use it in an example and explain everything that you need to know.
Right. And it also has something called contextual understanding. So, for example, you can say something like apply the previous concept the sentence and without specifying what we talked about, which one is tapping, is the word tapping. And you can see that it's actually using the previous prompt and information in order to formulate the next response. And that's why it's called ChatGPT. It's conversational in that it can utilize context.
Exactly. And with other versions, with the paid versions, we're not going to get into this in our 101 discussion, but you can upload entire pieces of information for it to always have, such as entire books,
You can upload books, you can upload documents, and that's called a custom GPT. So custom GPT has something called a system prompt, meaning you give it information and it'll start with that information in mind and continue to embody the information you gave it.
That's a great explanation of it. Yep, so here we go. We have tapping, our explanation here.
And it's a gerund, not a participle, because it's a noun, it's the name of something that's happening. It's not a verb acting as a descriptor, it's not an adjective.
Right.
Right.
What are we doing next?
I want to check the demos. We realize nothing that shows up on my computer is showing up in the recording. Right?
Let's go through the slides.
Okay, so the slides. Let's just.
Okay, so now we're going to go through a couple slides that we have prepared and step away from the demo. Oh, do we want to do the cats and rats?
You want to do that?
I do.
Okay, so we're just going to look over this conversation. If I give it this problem, if 6 cats kill 6 rats in 6 minutes, how many cats does it take to kill 100 rats in 50 minutes? It's like a logical reasoning type problem. And you can see that it is going to break the problem down into steps. And, it'll show you the equation so you can easily read through this and figure out the logic behind this as opposed to just giving you an answer like a calculator might.
Exactly. So you can learn this as a learning assistance tool.
Right. Just like the tutoring questions I showed earlier, being able to explain a concept to you.
12 cats, guys.
12 cats.
12 cats kill 100 rats in 50 minutes.
All right, so now let's get to our slides on the practical application of ChatGPT.
All right, guys, we are back here.
and we're going to go through some slides that we prepared.
All right, so we're going to talk about what ChatGPT really is, because I think that's really important to understanding kind of what we're doing in this presentation. So the term AI can be used to detect any software that performs a task that's considered human level unassisted. So that's what makes it special. It doesn't require human assistance to perform the task, at least at a basic level. So, you're on your phone and you do autocorrect, that's AI. You do a dictation and your phone converts your speech into text, that's AI. But ChatGPT is different. It's special in that it's an LLM, large language model, or a chatbot. And they can interact with the user conversationally via written English language, as opposed to you requiring, really, unlike a program, you use English language to communicate with it, just like you would with a person.
So we already walked through this with you guys earlier about going to the website to create an account. With the free version, you still want to log in and create an account and log in, because you do have access to more features. And TechPals does have a paid account. We utilize it often, and
It's been pretty useful, actually.
it's been extremely useful.
All right, so let's go to the next slide. This is our ChatGPT UI, and we may have shown this earlier, but you can see on the side with GPT Marketplace, it has custom GPTs that somebody else created to do certain tasks. So there are so many custom GPTs to do various things, from analyzing insurance documents, assistance with programming, assistance with certain tasks,
Accounting, ChatGPT's nutrition, exercise, TED support,
travel, anything. He can do anything with a GPT.
design, logo creation.
There are millions of GPTs available. So the GPT Marketplace will show a screenshot of that. Of course, here we have our paperclip file upload we shared earlier. We type our message in here, and there's a little button that'll show up as white once you've typed something here. And then we have our user switcher, which really that helps you access your account settings and
We had a slight mic disconnect there for 2 seconds. We're just going to go back and make sure what you said.
So the user switcher is really useful for accessing GPT memory. It's useful for accessing, other than GPT memory, our settings and being able to clear our chats if we don't want to keep them. You can permanently delete a chat from there.
And managing your custom GPTs would be found.
Right. Or if you have a paid account, your custom GPTs are there.
Right.
So now here's our GPT Marketplace. You see there are lots of GPTs. You can search for GPTs. This is a free plan, so the create button is grayed out. But on a paid plan that will be available, you can create a custom GPT and give it instructions and send it to others. But with the free version, you can search for GPTs made by others. So, we talked about some of the tasks, but here's a full list. You can analyze and explain complex documents. You can summarize and explain concepts and answer questions about the subject to increase your understanding. Can act as a search engine, too.
Yes, you can extract data from the internet. You can say, what website can I go to that's going to provide me the best deal on a piece of software that clocks my employees' time and their location?
And even if you want a product, you can say, like, what's the best deal on a brand new Samsung tablet with an ultra-wide camera or something like that.
Yeah, and you can say, does this version of this tablet connect to cellular or just Wi-Fi? So you make sure you get the right tablet for all your needs.
Right. You can also proofread existing writing and act as a better autocorrect, like autocorrect plus. It'll do way more than regular autocorrect. And you can generate diet plans, workout plans, travel itineraries, really anything. We didn't show all of this, but here are lots of things you can do. And that's the end, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you.